Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. The match is done. Wrexham to Peterborough 2. It went to penalties. And, how can I put this? What a fucking shit show that was. We had it. We lost it. AO saved the penalty. And is it the end of an era with Mullen and Lee not converting their penalties? You come in, you tell me who's to blame. Am I to blame? Did I jinx it? Maybe it was me. Come tell me if you think it is. And look, guys, we are welcoming everybody tonight. We always do. Peterborough fans, Birmingham fans, if you want to come in and talk shit to me, feel free, because I kind of deserve it a little bit. Now, guys on our Wrexham side, come in and defend me, maybe. I might need it tonight. But here we go. Well, it's over and we are out. Peterborough won on penalties. And I gotta wear a fucking Peterborough shirt. And so let me put that out into the world now. Ash, I'm sure you're loving it on the way home after being at the match. That's one you want to be there for. I would have loved to be there if I was in the other shoes. So have your fun. We'll talk about this sometime soon, I'm sure. You said you're not going to make it on the show because you're too busy heading home with all the friends. But who knows? Maybe 3 hours from now, I might still be on. So if you make it, jump on. And
he's asking for the link, Paddy.
Is he? Don't give it to him. Fuck off. Okay. So yeah, look, do you know what? Make a good job of it now. Get a shirt. I'll make sure you're paid for it. Take it to the team. Get everybody who scored to sign it. Sign it yourself. Anybody else from the podcast want to sign it? Go ahead. Send it over to me and I will do what I said. I will wear it and everybody can take the piss out of me later in a week or so or 2 weeks or however long the crappy post takes to get it here. But I am a man of my word. So we will talk. We will get it done. Now, but ladies and gentlemen, we don't have anyone in the background yet. And there's a reason for that because I haven't put the link out. So, Ken, did you give the link to Ash if he's looking for it?
I haven't. No, I'm going to have to figure out how to...
Oh, he's there. Okay. Ash, are you in our Discord? No, but I'm going to put the link out to everybody now anyway. So
you're going to put the link out to everybody so he can get it there.
Yeah. Okay, guys, there is the link. If we are very busy tonight and you come in, just please hang on in the background until I get to you. If there's any sort of delays, put it in the Twitter DMs if you can. If we're friends, let me go have a look. Is your DM open to everybody? Let me check. I actually don't know your code offhand.
No, Josh gave it to me the other day, but I'm bringing up X on my computer as opposed. There you go. There it is. He's just put in the comments for you.
Okay, Paddy. Perfect. No, why am I not seeing it?
And John, while Paddy's doing that, we have checked on Josh. He was on a chair in his lounge room reaching for the fan, but we've actually talked him down. So
I'm not seeing the code. Call it out there, Ken.
What Ash's code?
Yeah.
Ash's AW 7794. That's his Twitter handle.
Yeah, got him.
Yep.
Okay. Message. Got it. Yes, I can send direct messages. Okay, here we go.
So anyone else that wants to jump in, make sure you hit the link and jump on in. Give Paddy some company tonight. I'm only here till he gets his Peterborough friends.
Oh, fuck's sake, my account has been locked. Thanks.
And also want some Wrexham fans in here as well, just to give Paddy some therapy for a little while.
Oh, whatever the hell that is.
But in saying that, we definitely threw that game away. We're up 2-0, looking good. usual 30% possession, but still had the 2-0 lead, and we blew it.
Okay, sorry guys. I just got locked out of my account. 2 seconds, and I will be back. Okay, that should be it. Ash, you should have it in your account now. Right. So we had a decent enough first half. It was very much our style of play, and we gave them the possession, but they didn't do much with it. Ash put up a comment 2-0, and you fucked it up. Yeah, basically, that's a quick way of saying what happened today. Oh, Michael has a point here. Not killing teams off has to be a talking point. No service to Marriott first half.
Yep.
That's fair enough. Fowl's goal was impressive, is another one. That's a bright side. Let's talk about Fowl for a minute. Let's hit something positive while we wait for someone to jump in. And guys, jump in and lead this conversation, because I don't really feel like leading anything. So come in and have at it. So Fowl, I thought he did quite well today, actually.
I think that is the full stop death knell for Ollie Palmer.
Yeah. I was going to post that Palmer would never do that. He would never be able to do that.
Wouldn't be quick
but
enough.
I decided to leave him alone because nobody had mentioned him in the chat. So I said I wouldn't be the first one.
Yeah.
So c'est la vie. Okay, here we go. Outside the ground. Who's this?
Good evening, sports fans.
Good evening,
How
Ash.
are we
How
all
are you
doing?
doing?
Well done.
I'm absolutely delighted. At 2-0 down, I was ready to go home. I honestly don't know how you've thrown that away. All that solidarity that Phil Parkinson has, absolutely crazy. I honestly, at 2-0, I did not see us coming back from that. No complaints from me. I've just been into the shop, Paddy, just to see what the gold shirts look like, the gold winners shirts, but I couldn't see any gold ones. I only saw red losers shirts today, unfortunately.
Okay, fair enough.
But there's a lovely blue shirt with your name on it.
Yeah, I was. Now you probably missed it because you may not have been watching.
I think I came just right at the end of the conversation that you were talking about it.
Right. So what I was saying is, if you want to make a big deal out of this, and you probably should, have you got a home match next?
Yeah, we're playing at home on Saturday.
Okay. You mentioned grabbing one from your shop. If you want to go and get it signed by the players who fucking scored on us, if you want to get it signed by anyone on the podcast, do whatever you want. I'll make sure you get paid for it. I won't leave you hanging for the cash, and we'll get it sorted. We'll get it sent over.
Absolutely, sounds like a good plan. Make sure that you drop me your address in the.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
What's Mo Fowl's goal? Can somebody remind me Mo Fowl's goal? I don't even remember it. Who? Mo Fowl, the first goal.
That was the
ball.
chip.
They
chip the goalie.
Oh yeah, no, that was a good goal. Yeah, that was a good goal. Just looking at the comment. Yeah. Not difficult to beat a 5'6" goalkeeper with a chip, but somehow your players have made our tiny goalkeeper look massive in that goal.
Yeah,
so credit to them in some sense. I don't think that Paul Mullin was too happy as he walked out of the ground. I did give him an earful for being a Cambridge player.
Well, he did have a fucking horrible penalty.
Perfect height to save. The goalkeeper's dream.
Was,
to be
exactly.
fair, the Wrexham penalties were poor, and when it got to the end of the game, we were watching the posh team. They were all together. They were all stood together. They felt like a team. I think that's the first time that I've watched Wrexham and not seen them look like a team. They looked disjointed. They looked defeated before the penalties had even started.
Well, certainly leading out with Mullin with such a poor penalties did not help.
100% win streak, get on. Oh, Blackmore's the new kit man. Right, I think that the posh players are about to come out, so we're going to give them their dues. So I'm going to drop out for now, and we'll maybe try and arrange something later on in the week where I can jump on and we can discuss the game once I've had a chance to watch it back.
Yeah, no problem.
But I hope that you didn't have a terrible evening. Give Josh my regards. I hope that I've not ruined his afternoon.
You have, but it doesn't matter. Enjoy
And I
your
will
evening.
speak to you all soon. I will be in the next live comments, ready to jump on where needed.
No problem. Talk to you later.
Speak to you soon. Cheers, guys.
See you, Ash. Take care. There.
He's off to enjoy the moment.
Yeah, fuck it, he should. We would. The other way around. Look, what can you do? It's a cup match. We said it beforehand. Anything can happen. And what happened was a stupid penalty and a silly, non-defended bouncing ball in the bloody box. It was so close to the end of the match. Everybody was afraid of touching it, taking down a player. You know, they all sat back, and AO should have come and collected as well. Look, AO didn't look amazing throughout the game. He looked tentative. Some of the same problems. Not commanding your box, not coming out when necessary. He was slow coming out to clear that ball that gave away the penalty. Now, I believe he got the tiniest touch on the ball when he went down for it, but it was so slight that you would not, as a referee, you wouldn't have been able to see it. But he let his hands follow through. He took down the player. And look, should you follow through in that case? Maybe he thought he got enough on the ball. Maybe he just couldn't pull his hands away. I don't know. But it was a silly penalty to give. Because if he had not touched the ball and not touched the player, pulled his hands back completely, that was going out. The player was not getting to that.
Even if it didn't go out, Paddy, which I don't know, I think he might have got to it. There was three
players were coming back. Yeah, they were coming back.
And so either A needed to be a breath quicker, like a half step quicker to get the ball, or B, not even come out at all because there was defenders pouring back and the ball was going wider. It wasn't going straight.
Yeah. Well, see, sometimes when you go charging out like that, sometimes you see keepers do it where they know they're not going to get the ball. The point is to make the attacker jump, that you get in front of him and he has to go over you, which takes his balance away a little bit, makes it harder. He can't just step and run. He has to jump to get over you. And that does slow him down a little bit as well to stop him getting to the ball as fast. Yeah. But that was...
And Stace, the link is in the chat, Stace.
So the link is in the chat, but I'll throw it up again anyway. There's no harm in throwing it up there.
Yeah, I just threw it up a second ago.
Yeah. Now, guys, I would like a nice few people to come in tonight. Let's not leave it just to me to be annoyed. Now, I know Stacey's going to come in hot. I can guarantee you. 100%. Because normally Stace only really makes the effort to come in when she's not happy. And I don't blame her because, everybody has lots of stuff to do. So that's fine. So, yeah, I guess Stace really has something to say. And I think it's going to be hot. So let's go through some of the comments. Yeah, let's pull up some of the comments. I'll work backwards because I'm probably not going to get to them all. Goofy Splat, we showed no desire to win it. Peterborough deserved it. I don't agree they deserved it, because if this happened the other way around in like a league match, I would be happy we won, let's say, but I wouldn't say we deserved it.
No, I would agree they looked more desperate and wanted it more.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go with deserved.
Okay.
Here you go, Paddy.
Stace is here, so let's get her in because it's going to be a late evening for her. You ready, Stace? We're going to bring you in. Hiya.
Hello. You all right?
Yeah.
I'm in my pajamas. Excuse me.
No problem.
I let my eldest go to the game instead of me. He doesn't even support Wrexham, but his friends were going and he was like, "Can I have your ticket?" I was like, "Oh, I've got to be a good mum once in a while, haven't I?" So yeah, he went.
Well, seeing how it ended up, you probably didn't want to be there anyway.
I'm not surprised, to be honest. I thought the first half we were really, really good.
I thought we were good.
Yeah, really good. And I think when in the second half, as soon as we made those changes with Elliot Lee and Mullen coming on, our rhythm changed with a click of the fingers. it was almost instant. So yeah, from then on, I thought, yeah, I've got a chance now. And I know people don't like me talking bad about Mullin or Elliot, and you guys know I don't really like talking personally bad about the lads, but they're just not good enough for League One, in my opinion. And I know this is a cup game as well, but they are so off it. It's unreal. You could just see the change straight away, couldn't you?
Yeah. I did mention that a bit.
It
Yeah.
felt like we were trying to protect it for the last half an hour.
It was hilarious. I saw a massive change up and down in our play today. We got to the 2 goals, and everything slowed down again. Everything went calm, relaxed, not too much pressure. Then the penalty almost came out of nowhere by a silly mistake. They scored, and like that, we were back to aggression. And it's ridiculous to me that we sit back like that at 2-0. I've said this so many bloody times. I don't enjoy the idea of just sit there and take the points. Now, it's a little different in the league, right? I can have that viewpoint defended a bit more in the league. But I guess people will make the same argument. Well, we're 2-0 up. Just secure it and win.
Yeah, that's where it
fucking
always
hate
goes. It's up for us though.
Yeah.
Changed it a little bit more defensively. It just tends to go tits up for us. Our wing backs were having issues tonight as well. Giving Motherwell loads of room to just swing right through. That was a bit frustrating for me as well. I've seen quite a few people. Everyone knows I'm friends with Mendy, but you know, I've seen quite a few people saying that he wasn't good enough, but he's had no play time, to be fair. He did have some good points, in my opinion. I might be a little bit biased, obviously, but I think he had some good points. He had a great stop against Hayes as well. Great block, I thought. He had some good moments. But yeah, you can tell he's rusty, and you can't blame the lad, really, can you? Because he's barely played. So for a player that's barely played and to have some good key points like that block, I think he did okay. Wasn't brilliant, but he did okay.
Stace, no, he had some great moments. And on top of that, both our wing backs were up against very good wingers who applied a lot of pressure to us
Very
tonight.
good. Yeah.
I thought,
Okay.
and he perfect toss in for the goal to Dobbo. So yeah.
Guys, we have Brian Burton in the background. Looks like he's outside the stadium. So I'll bring him in now for a second, just in case he only has a few minutes. 2 seconds. Brian, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm not outside the stadium. I'm
You're not? Okay.
leaving work, but
Leaving work. Okay. I just saw some buildings. I thought you were walking out.
I went. Well, I wouldn't want to be at that one, but I'm going to focus on the future because we have league play now.
Okay.
Parky needs to upgrade the coaching staff so he has somebody there to help him make these in-game decisions.
I don't
Because
think that would help. I don't think that'd help. Parky's so stuck in his ways. I think having different coaching staff and them giving them opinions, he wouldn't have any of it.
I think he allows sentiment to get the better of him, and it was sentiment that left Mendy in when he was clearly struggling, and I think it was sentiment to get Mullen in there maybe sooner than he needed to, because I thought Marriott was looking very dangerous and active, right when he was taken out. And I know that, Fowl was injured, but, I don't think Marriott needed to come out then. And then moving Max into the midfield at a dangerous time. It's one thing if, we're in a league game and we're up multiple goals and there's only 10 minutes left, or if we were down a goal and we need the offense like the other day. But if we're protecting the lead It's just more of the strange Mickey Mouse stuff that Parkey seems to do in game. And it's bit us again, but moving forward in league, and I hope we go up to championship, they just have to do something to deal with this issue.
We're not good enough for the championship. I keep saying it. We're not good enough for the championship with the current team that we have. If we did get promoted, then we'd have to swap. Well, not swap, because they're not going to give us players back, but you know what I mean. Sell more than half of our team. I'm not even just talking about, you know, half. There is more than half of our team that are not good for the championship.
Well,
They're just not good enough. Some of them aren't good enough for League One, in my opinion.
I mean, here's the irony. I think Parkey will find good players to sign. He's good at selecting them. But will he coach them up once he has them? I mean, these mistakes that AO are making or Brunt, are they developing under Parkey? Are they regressing? Are they stagnating? I mean, what's happening once he gets the talent in?
Parkey's a very defensive manager. He always has been the same. Not just with us, Sunderland and other teams. He's been very defensive. I think he struggles to see the vision of offense, to be honest. I'm not slagging him off. You know, he's done a lot for us and brought us, you know, somewhere where we didn't think we'd be so soon, to be fair. But I think when you're in this situation, you need to be able to change your manager style a little bit, which he doesn't do. It's very rare that you see that he does that. So he just instantly is like straight into defensive mode, and it's not helping us, to be honest. It's not all his fault, though. Some of the fault is with the players. You can't blame one sole person, can you?
No, you can't. And I'm going to put the comment back up there about Parky's style, which I think is very fair. It's the Parky way, Paddy. He won't change his ways. At 2-0, you need to manage the game. Sadly, I don't think you're one of those teams who will take the ball and take the sting out of the game. I think that's a very fair comment.
Yeah.
I don't think we are the type of team that will just completely shut down another team, because we continue to give the ball away. We were not good enough. You can see tonight with the way Peterborough plays with the ball. Their possession, their triangles, it's miles ahead of what our team can do. Or at least what they're told to do. Maybe they can do it better, but they're told not to. But like when we come up against a team like Peterborough, we can't compete on that level with them. We have to play our game, and our game is attacking after defense. You know, quick counters. And if we stop doing the quick counters and try and slow the game, it does not work for us.
No, I think we did it very well in the first half. But the caliber of players that we had on the first half was a lot higher than who we brought on the second half, unfortunately. So yeah, our play just instantly changed to just stagnant, really, didn't it?
Yeah. Now I've got a question here from the chat. Take this one on and see what you think. Can someone please explain to me why I should care about Wrexham's result when it was obvious that Wrexham did not care about the result? Do you agree with that?
It's a bit of an odd question.
But the main gist of it, do you think the players didn't care?
No, I think they do care. I think they genuinely do care. I think it comes down to style of play again. There's only so much that the players can do, isn't there? They can only try their best. And to be fair, they did try their best, but as soon as we made those changes with, I won't mention names, certain players that are just not up to par at the moment, what do you do with that? But even the first half, Marriott and Fowl were not even fed scrappy deliveries, and Mo was like, fine, I'll go off and do it myself, and chipped it over the keeper. It's all about delivery as well. And if, Parky isn't concentrating on that and rather concentrating defensively, what do you expect from the players as well? You know, I think they genuinely do care. A lot of the players have so much love for the club as well. Like they absolutely love it. So I don't think that's fair to say that they don't care. I think it's a bigger picture of everything all in one, you know, how some certain players are performing, because it's not just tonight, but they've not been performing all season. And then put the manager in the mix, Parky, with his style of play. Are you going to be surprised of the outcome tonight? Because I'm not. When I've been a Wrexham fan all my life, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, I don't think it's very fair to say that the players don't care. They genuinely love the club so much, and they'll be gutted.
Okay. Brian, I just put your mic back on because it's a little noisy. Did you get that question? What's your take?
Yeah, no, I did. I would just, I put in the chat during the game that several times, this isn't the first match, you know, a striker offloads the ball to a wing or a midfielder and then moves into a position and they don't ever get the ball back. And, you know, they're greedy. They can't always get the ball back, but this seems to be a just constant problem with Wrexham. And I think it comes down to our technical staff and what they're not doing in training and what philosophy is not being instilled. So
we didn't press them very hard today.
Yeah,
we didn't.
Our midfield has been a little bit off it for a while, really, hasn't it? Our delivery from midfield up front has been very off it compared to what we've been used to the last few seasons, isn't it? Yeah, it's
well, I've held this comment here from Mazza King for a little bit. You've spent good money to get where you are. You have done amazing. Around third, reach the semis. Come on, guys, have a bit more respect for your manager. You score at will and you're getting results. The only thing I would disagree with in particular there is you score at will. We don't. We don't score. We don't score at will.
We feed scraps into our strikers, you know. We don't score at will. There's an issue there.
We score from effort. We score from the team putting in the effort to get it done, to get the job done. But we don't score at will. Maybe last season a bit more. Certainly in the National League, we were scoring at will. We're not scoring at will this season. It's our defensive capability that has kept it so low. And we haven't looked amazing. So there's another comment here from Cam Golden Gun. At Mazza King, despite our record, we've been pretty shaky since November.
Yep.
And I think that's fair. And that's what a lot of people have been saying is the signs don't look great. We have been getting over the line, but we've got the job done so far, but things have not been simple.
No, Brian, Arthur's been very shaky. I would say when we've played Chomp on a few occasions, he's played a lot better than Arthur, to be honest. He just looks really shaky. Given that penalty away as well, I'm not sure what he was really thinking there. He's very usually he's quite confident, but you can see
he was a step too late. He was a step too late in deciding to go out.
Yeah, he's nervy and such a cracking goalkeeper. He's, I love Arthur, but he's been very not as good as usual either.
Patty, if I can say something.
Yeah, you're back.
I'm concerned after tonight about just the structure of the club, because the owners, they want to leave football to the football people. Yeah. And I know they revere Parky, but are there strong enough personalities? I think Sean took a step back. We have the gentleman from Juventus. Does he have the strong enough personality to tell Parky, look, we need to upgrade the staff. Some of these people have been with you for years, but we're moving into a more competitive league, League One and maybe Championship than you remember before. And, you know, the player selection is great, but we seem to have problems with the player development or the preparation or something. And I feel like a strong enough executive director could do that, but I don't know if we have that in place, and it's not going to come from ownership. So I just have that concern moving forward as they try to build, you know, a bigger and better club.
I kind of disagree with that because Parky has been a really good manager for us. So there's no disrespect towards Parky at all. I just think now we're higher up the league in League One, he needs to be able to switch and change his play a little bit more and not be just stubborn and sticking in his ways. So I don't think that's down to the club or anything like that. I think that's Parky maybe having blindfolds on sometimes. He's been an incredible manager for us. He really has. A lot of respect for him. I think if we went into the Championship, though, I think that's when the discussion should happen. Is he good enough for us in the Champs? I'm not overly sure myself if he's good enough for us for in the Champs, but at the moment he's okay for us in League One. I just think he needs to look at the bigger picture and look at teams as individuals, because he seems to do the same type of play and same structure with the team, mainly 90% of the time, against most teams, doesn't he? He doesn't switch it or change it for the each individual team that we're playing. So that's the only criticism I have, but I don't think he'll be going anywhere while we're in League One. Not at all.
Yeah. Now, we're getting between two conversations here, which is the Cup tonight and this match, which, in fairness, has very little, if any, relevance to our league fight and battle, because the team tonight was nowhere near our league team. So that's a little separate, but the same things happening tonight are similar things we have seen Parky do in the league.
Right.
So
It's like it's a pattern, Paddy.
it is a pattern, but I'm going to give Parky his props here, and I'm going to disagree with you as well. With the general premise is, I don't want the owners getting involved in the player side of it. They don't know anything about it. And
No.
I wonder to what extent that freedom actually helps Parky, because it is working for what he is trying to do right now. The one thing I truly worry about is I do believe we have a very good shot at going up. If we do go up, not necessarily the level of our players, I think we've walked ourselves into a corner with the number of contracts that we have extended. We have very few contracts that are ending this summer. Almost none, 2 or 3 max, and only a couple of players that will easily potentially leave because they're nowhere near the team. So, like, if we need to majorly upgrade for the Championship, which I do agree we kind of should, we're going to have to cut some losses and pay out some players on big money, big contracts to get rid of them, or simply sit them. Either way, we're taking it on the chin if we can upgrade. And I think it's going to potentially lead to we can't. Not as much as we might like.
I think loan several of them out, I would hope.
Yeah.
I'd like to see 5 or 6 loaned out next year.
Yeah, that might be what we have to do, is just cut some loss, get some money for them. But, you know, especially with loans, they do have some little bit of play in it. They can refuse to go almost. Well, with loans, they're not supposed to. But we might have to just take people off. But that's let's leave that aside for now, because we have enough to talk about with tonight, I guess, and the Cup. But Parky can still get us there. It's still working in principle because we're only 3 points off Wycombe. And this is kind of what Capital Clarity is saying here. So I want to take this one next. What am I hearing tonight? Why do our own fans slag us off when we are only 9 points behind Brum, 3 points behind Wycombe, and then because we lose to Peterborough in a cup game, the Wrexham players aren't good enough?
I don't think we're slagging them off. I think we're just having a discussion. Like, really. I'm friends with a couple of the players and I'd never slag them off like nastily. It's just having a discussion and sharing our opinions, isn't it? It's nothing like personal or to be, nasty. It's just good to have a discussion and what's going on at the moment, isn't it, Paddy?
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of these guys are at the moment our second string players. They're not in our first 11 for the league side of it. So it's not wrong to discuss these things. And the cup is very different. So if you're taking what's been said tonight as slagging off the team in their league effort, then that's wrong. That's not what we're saying at all. We're having a general discussion on players that are trying to break back in to the team. But in fairness, yeah, it has obviously been a little bit negative, pessimistic, because we lost. Now, if we hadn't lost, if that second goal didn't go in, we'd be much happier, and I suppose these discussions would be a little bit better. But they'd essentially be the same discussion if we dove down into it. But saying that, let's try and pick out the positives of tonight. Yeah. Let's dig in and see. Brian, what do you think?
My number one positive is Ashfield.
Yes.
Remind me, he's 21.
No, I think he's 19.
Oh, 19.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought
10 years
had a
on the
birthday
contract
during
with
the
us from
season.
about 8. So
Okay.
I think, yeah.
So even better. So I mean, I see the potential to be, every bit the Ollie Rathbone, possibly even develop beyond that. He's a player who can grow with us into the championship. So I consider that to be very positive from tonight.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's got so much potential. He really has.
He does.
Yeah, he just doesn't stop trying, does he? He's a good player.
And when it comes to him and Brun and Ashfield, it comes down to coaching. We need someone to coach him up.
Yeah, absolutely. Considering his age and not being part of the squad, what do we think? He might stay with the team if we remain in League One, but he has to go out on loan if we go up to Championship. Would anyone disagree with that?
Are you sure we can't use him in League One next year as a regular rotation player, maybe on the bench most league games?
No, that's what I said. Because he's not counted. He's an extra player.
Okay.
He's underage, so that assists us in keeping him because he's not locking up a space. So would we agree that he has shown qualities to stay with us for League One, but has to go out on loan for Championship?
Yeah, absolutely. But realistically, is he going to get the play time that he needs? Probably not. So I think him going out on loan will be great for him.
Either way.
And more, and then come back to us, a bit like Aaron James. He's a great young player for us as well. I absolutely love him, and I'm really happy for him that he's gone out on loan because that's what he wanted, regular play time, so he can improve. You do training, etc., but it's not enough. Sometimes, is it? You need regular play time to improve and get better. That's why I'm happy for Aaron being out on loan. I think for Harry, that would be brilliant for him as well. But would I like to see him playing a bit more in the League One games? Yeah, I probably would. But he is a really good player for a young guy, but he needs a little bit more experience, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah, I think going out on loan will help him with that.
A League One team that agrees to start him, or if he moves up to Championship, I would expect him to start in all the cup games instead of just, like these last two we did. And the other thing, and I know it's, premature to talk about moving up to the Championship, but I would expect us to be more successful in the Caribou Cup for a championship team and actually, potentially have a string of games there instead of just out in the first round like we were this year. So maybe more chances for a player like Ashfield
next season. Yeah. Yeah, like he had glimpses that make me think he could potentially stick with the team for League One next season and fight to get into the team. But it has to be on a consistent basis. And if he can't keep
Yeah.
up that sort of level and is making defensive mistakes or lapses, then yeah, he's not going to get starts with us. And I would happily see him top end League Two team or bottom end of League One, even if another League One team wants him, who might be fighting, and will give him the time. But yeah, he needs a year somewhere playing.
I really enjoy.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I really enjoy Ash's set pieces. He's really good with his set pieces. Probably better than some of the older generation of our players. Yeah, really good set pieces again from him tonight. Really impressed me. But he can only get better with experience, and he's going to be, even more experienced, and I think he's going to become an incredible player. I really do.
Yeah,
I'd say ask yourself what his weaknesses are right now. To me, he needs to gain experience. So like decision making and strength. I mean, a young man, he's going to get stronger so that he can hold up better in some of the tackles. And, if we're working with him, he'll start making better decisions. And he's really close. He's not far off. He's just making like little tiny errors. That's what I see.
What was interesting about him tonight, which comes with a little bit of lack of experience, but I think is also kind of a positive sometimes. I mentioned in the warm-up show about let's play attacking ball and just put pressure on the goalie. And what he did tonight at one stage was he had the ball in a decent position, but there was traffic all around him. And he didn't, he still went for the shot. He just looked up, okay, everybody's in front of me, so what? I'm going to hit this ball. And it did get stopped, but it ended up in a very dangerous area. And it caused problems. And sometimes you have older, experienced players who look up and go, the shot's not on. And then they pass it out to the wing again and try and get it back in or whatever. Whereas he said, no, I'm close enough now. I'm putting this ball on target. And let's see what happens. Maybe because the experience is you should be playing it out. Maybe that's what's trained into you, but he just put it on target and caused trouble. And I like that from him.
Yeah, he's going to be a very, very good player for us at some point. I mean, he's good now. Imagine with some more experience. I think he's just going to be incredible for us. I really do. Got a lot of hope for him.
I hate to talk about the timing, but with Cannon going down, I really feel like Ashfield has moved ahead of him. Just because we know Cannon's not going to be ready for competitive play till maybe late fall at the earliest. Yeah. And if Ashfield is match fit at that time, how much better does he look? I feel like Ashfield, in terms of the club's plans, should be moved ahead of Cannon even at this point.
Yeah, but we're really getting into next season then, at that point. So let's not stretch it out that far.
He's gonna be away for probably most of next season as well. I should expect Andy Cannon. But ACL is a long time out, isn't it? So
yeah. Okay, let's pick someone else. What about Fal? How do we think Fal did tonight?
I thought he was really good. I still think he needs to gain a little bit more experience, and that's not being negative. He's still really young, but I thought he had some great moments tonight. I think he struggled a little bit with Marriott at points, not all the time, because Marriott fed a ball lovely through to him. But yeah, maybe that's just experience again, and not regularly playing with a partner up front. But yeah, again, young player needs to gain a little bit more experience. But what he's doing currently for us, he looks great. He does look good.
I think it's important to remember that we don't give good service to Rodriguez and Smith and Marriott. So it's no surprise that, Fowl doesn't really get a lot of good service and a lot of good opportunities.
Yeah.
But, he looked good on the ball, and he made good use of the one opportunity he had. So I think that's great. And I really asked myself, if he were on like a lower level League One team this whole season, starting majority of the games, would he have 9 or 10 goals? And, he might.
He might, but we couldn't risk it at the time.
Right.
That's the problem. We were doing too well. And this has been commented on numerous times, that if we had been a little bit further back, if we had been comfortably mid-table, you absolutely could have kept putting Fall on and given him the time to develop the way you would want him to. But because we were so close, and because we were getting the matches over the line, getting the 3 points, you just couldn't give him the time, because if he couldn't do it, then that's 3 points lost, and it's tough. Now tonight, I think he looked the most comfortable doing the job that I think Parky wants him to do. Because when he was playing other matches, he had glimpses. He looked to be an interesting player. I thought that, after a couple of matches, but I think tonight was the first night I saw him do what I believe Parky wants him to do, in taking that big man role. And getting in the right places. And he also did the other things that other players often do, like Mullen, harrying players, getting around, being a pest up there. So some of the stuff he was doing off the ball just looked to me like that's Parky training that has come along. And he does look slightly bigger as well. So maybe he's been putting on a little bit. The way he kept his defender off him when he took that goal, he had his hand out like an American footballer,
Yes.
keeping his player back just to keep his foot away for when he wanted to connect with the ball, which was really nice. So, he out-muscled that defender and kept him away from getting a toe on the ball, which was really nice to see. And then he finished.
I thought he had some good tactical footwork as well at points, to be fair.
He did. Yeah.
Better than some of our strikers for such a young player.
Same with Ashfield. Ashfield was doing the same thing, doing a couple of tricks, a couple of little step overs and plays, and turning around defenders and getting past players. They both seemed willing to try that and comfortable enough to play the little trick pass and trick tap and stuff, which was nice to see. So he's becoming more comfortable, because that's the type of stuff that looks stupid if you don't pull it off. So you need a little bit of confidence in yourself to do stuff like that.
If you somehow knew for a fact that you were playing in League One next year, and I hope we're not, because it's there to be had.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would comfortably play Fowl
for the rest
and
of the
Ashfield in League One next year as starters.
Okay.
They might have some bumps, and I'm not even saying over some of the players we haven't. But if you were a League One manager, and I said, I'm going to give you Harry Ashfield and Mo Fowl to play next year, I think they would make good in League One. I really do.
Very, very possible. Yeah, very possible. I certainly think Fowl is starting to look good enough that we should keep him next season if we're in League One. But of course, the caveat to that is, well, who is playing the big man? Like Sam Smith is a little bit of a big man, but it's kind of Jay is supposed to be doing it. He's not really doing the role. I preferably would only want to keep Fal if we think he might be the number one big guy next season. Otherwise, he needs a bit of experience too.
Does Fal pair with Smith?
Potentially.
Is the question. Yeah.
Potentially. Yeah, that's a possibility.
I think he's got a lot of potential to be to play a role like Ollie does, and be a little bit more physical. But again, that'll come with more experience and a little bit more confidence that comes with experience. But I can see him being, oh, dare I say it, Paddy's gonna probably smile when I say this now, a better version of Ollie.
Well,
let's
that's the idea.
Compare the two. He already has better feet than Ollie, right? Does he have better pace than Ollie?
Yes.
And I'm talking about prime Ollie, and
No.
I'm not going into it.
Yeah, no. I don't think it's fair to compare prime Ollie. Fal isn't there yet either, but he's certain. Like, okay, let's say when Ollie was first pick, not prime Ollie, but just recently when he was the man. Let's put it kind of there.
Yeah.
Is Fal faster? Yes. Does his touch seem to be a bit better? Yes. Like the way he finished that goal today, just dinking it over the keeper, and he was comfortable doing it. Yeah, I think he's better now in things. He's not better at the defensive play. He's not better at headers, clearing the ball, but he's trying.
Oh.
You could see him in his defensive duties today. He wasn't running away from the defensive duties, but he's a different style a little bit there. And I always said that what we would hope could happen with Fal is that he could be the hybrid type of player. Someone who is capable of playing how we ask Ollie to play, but is also capable of acting as your standard striker. That he can run, he can shoot, and he can do all the other aspects of a standard striker. So a little bit like Sam Smith, because he has kind of done a little bit of the role, collecting balls, taking them high, stuff like that. But he's not as tall. He's not as natural at doing stuff like that. He just happens to be skillful. So he can sometimes get away with it. So potentially with time down the road, Fal could be the perfect hybrid of a striker who can be a regular striker, but can also do everything that Palmer was asked to do. That would be fantastic for our situation, what we want.
Where Palmer's better is that fight, that, kind of get down and dirty. And how does Fal develop that? Does he have to go out on loan so he can just battle?
That's a hard one, because the one problem I see with sending Fal on loan is he will get no experience doing what we want him to do. He will not play like Palmer if he goes out to any other team, and potentially they will beat that out of him before they send him back to us.
Yeah.
That's a problem I see with Fal. He could come back a better regular striker. I don't think he'll come back better at what Parky wants him to do.
Unfortunately, going back to what you said a little earlier, if we go up to the championship, I think we have to overpay. One, because I think agents are going to try to take advantage of us. But two, we're in this weird intermediate stage where we'll probably have to overbuy and get some really good midfielders and maybe a really good winger and a good center back to make up for the fact that we have some of these young players who aren't quite ready. But eventually they'll play themselves into that level.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking about is obviously if we go up to the championship, we only, I guess what we want is just to survive. That should be a fair target next season, is just survive, right? And I mentioned about the fact we're kind of walking ourselves into a corner with all the contracts we have. So we are only going to get a couple of players off the books, out on loan, or players who are willing to go if we tell them you are not playing with us anymore. So if you want to stay and sit on your money, do so, but we would like you to move. So if that scenario happens, if we end up with only 3 or 4 spots that we can actively get rid of, what we might actually end up doing is going super premium for those couple of spots and actually paying a lot more than maybe we would because we don't have the spots available. So kind of like your whole war chest, instead of spreading it out on 6, 7, 8 players, we might end up buying in only 3 or 4 players with the whole war chest in
Yeah.
order to try and survive. That's a possibility in the summer.
I think if you did 3,
Top end players.
an attacking midfielder, a center back, and a winger,
Maybe.
you know,
Yeah, maybe
that would
that's
elevate
good.
that would elevate our level considerably if they're top end, like you say.
Yeah.
Because we have good players like Rathbone who could complement that top flight midfielder, like you say.
Oh, I fucking love Rathbone.
Me too.
Yeah.
What a player he is. Now he's championship quality. For sure. Not think so, Paddy? See your face like,
You know, it's interesting, right? Because is he championship quality? For other teams, probably not. But the difference is Parky does seem to find the diamond in the rough, for want of a
Yeah.
better word, that other teams cannot use or doesn't work within their systems, but just clicks within our system. And he brings these players in at odd times. So is he championship quality? Probably in our system. Yes, probably. So yeah, I don't agree. I was just kind of considering, well, he's come down from championship and they didn't want him, kind of. So
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I
depends who
think-
he's playing next to.
of course, yeah.
I think he needs to play for a team that suits your style as well. And Rathbone just shines with us, doesn't he, really? He really does stand out compared to some other players.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just suits him. But I think if and when we go up, I'll say, to be devil's advocate, I think he is one of the players that would cope okay compared to others because he does really well in our current structure, doesn't he? I do love Rathbone. He just doesn't stop. He doesn't stop trying. Even if he's not having the best of games, he's still running around like an absolute lunatic and trying his best. You know, where some of our other players, you just see them walking across the pitch or jogging and you're thinking, come on, like,
Yeah.
you might be having a bad game, but fucking keep trying. Where Rathbone is just like fucking Linford Christie in the Olympics or something. He just doesn't stop. Doesn't stop
Yeah.
at all. And that's what I like about him. He tries extremely hard and doesn't stop, even if he's not having a particular great game for him. Yeah, that's what I like about him.
He collects these balls, whereas if you had somebody else to draw the attention of the defense, I think Rathbone would really be even more effective. But even kind of being the top player on the pitch a lot of the time for us, he still seems to be able to win the ball and win possession and advance the ball. So that's why I like him so much, and I'm bullish on his ability in the championship.
Yeah. So we have where is it here? Glenda. Maybe we shouldn't have as much talk about us being in the championship next year. We should wait until we know we will be there. Look what happened with Posh. Yeah, look, that's a fair point. But one thing I will say is the cup is now done. We're out. our
Yep.
next target is the championship. So that's the road we're on. We are on the road to the championship. So I think it's fair to kind of speak about it and push towards it at this time. Now, where's another one here? Ron.
Shit.
Go
Patty,
on.
let me suggest a topic, and then I'll go.
Okay.
We're back to the league. Patty likes to play it, or Parky likes to play it safe, and sometimes play for the draw. But do we need wins? Do we need almost all wins the rest of the way to make it to the championship?
A lot of wins, yes. Not all wins, but yes. Okay. I will answer that question, and I will bring up my little diagram at the end before we finish. I'll round out with that. I'll bring it back up, and I'll just show what's left in the league at the moment. So this question from Ron, I'm not going to answer it, but I'm going to comment on it. Paddy, give us your list of championship players on our team. I'm not going to go through the players. I'm not going to talk about who's championship and who's not in total. Partly because sometimes it's a little bit of a fool's errand, because everyone in the chat is going to disagree, because everybody has a different idea of what a championship level player is. Are we talking about championship level players for the top half, for surviving relegation, or do you count them as championship level players if they can't survive in the league? Because some players will be championship level, but if you don't have all championship level players, then you'll probably come back down. So that's a really difficult one to do. But what I will say is that I picked Burton Albion. No, not Burton. Crawley Town. And I said, I had a little disagreement with Aaron. And Aaron said they're going down. And I said, I think they might survive. The reason I picked them to survive is because they have the ability to win matches with their style of play. They don't win regularly, but that makes a big difference when you're looking for the smaller number just to survive relegation. And I think that could very well be us next season if we have some difficulty upgrading players, in that we have a style of football that will beat championship teams. We have the ability to beat championship teams, but we're not necessarily going to do it very regularly. And that might just be enough to survive relegation in the championship. So I am positive about our chances of staying up. I don't think it'll be particularly easy, but of course we do have to get to the championship first. So that is our next road. So any other particular starts here? I know the guys just had to leave. I got a message saying the power is about to die. So guys, throw it in the chat here and come and join us. I'll throw the invite link back up again to see if we want a new guest or if anybody's coming in. There you go. Boom. It's back up in the chat. Now, so we're talking about the championship because the cup is gone and we lost and we're out. So we've moved on a little bit. Let me find my graphic. Yes, it's in here somewhere. Boom. Okay. Why can I not change this? Something's up here, guys. That's not working. Full screen layout. Nope, wrong one. This one. Ah, here we go. Yes, this is us. Okay. So this is our remaining matches to the end of the season. And based on a 10 match or 10 season average, we need 91 points, I believe. No, it's not. It's 93 points to take second place. So that means we still require 30 points in the remaining matches. And the first 3 here are done. So I have picked the next, in theory, easiest matches to win. We need to beat Bolton Wanderers, Rotherham United, Reading, Exeter, Cambridge, Burton Albion, Wigan Athletic, Bristol Rovers, Blackpool, and Lincoln City. So this will allow us to have 12 more points that we can drop in this season in order to make that average. Now it is a 10-game average. So as John Hills has just commented, 88 points would have gotten second place last season. Bolton had 87. Yes, on a single year's average, it could be lower. It could also be higher as well. So it's a little bit too early to play those guessing games. So I'm just going to go by an average over 10 seasons. And I think that's fair. It could be less if Wycombe start dropping more points. At the moment, that's who we need to be concerned with. And we're still 3 points behind them. Now, they are going to play Birmingham next. Because I actually also have theirs done. So this is Wycombe's. They're 3 points ahead, so they need 27 points. That means that their easiest 9 games to win are Burton Albion, Peterborough United, Rotherham United, Lincoln City, Shrewsbury Town, Reading, Stevenage, Bolton, and Charlton. And it allows them to lose 5 matches going by the averages. So that is very possible. Very possible, but not easy. And we all have to wait and see. Okay, so Michael here says, basically, Paddy, you said if you see every block of 4 games, we preferably need to win 3 and lose 1 to hopefully get promoted. Yes, that's how I started it. So if you look at the top row here, no, that's Peterborough. Let's go back. There we go. If you look at the top row here, we have Northampton Town, Mansfield Town, and Bolton Wanderers would be 3 matches there. 2 here, 3 there, 3 there. And then at the moment, I actually changed how I made this graphic and I just went with the easiest matches. So this last match here, Lincoln City, can take the place of one of these 2 teams. So can we beat Wycombe? Yes, that's probably the hardest, but that's also the biggest match for us. And that then becomes your standard 6-pointer. We want to take 3 points off them and gain our 3 points as well. So that's a perfect match to do it. Obviously, there's a chance of a nice draw there, which doesn't really affect anything too much. We share the points. But let's see how everything comes out. But it's not easy to win that many. It's not. But Wycombe also have to do something pretty similar. And they are dropping points also. So John Hills thinks that based on strength of schedule and current form, Stockport are a bigger threat on paper. I disagree. I do disagree. And I'll show you why. This is why I disagree. Because so far this season, we are on 1.9 points per match. And Stockport is just over 1.7. They have already played 33 matches. Their window for not just taking out us, they also have to take out Wycombe in order to be a problem. Because at the moment we're just fighting Wycombe, and if Stockport get close but don't beat Wycombe, then no one cares. So their window is getting much, much tighter. They're going to have to go on a big run in order to get past us. I know it looks like they're not on a lot of points behind us. It's actually, where's the points? There. They're estimated to come in at 79. We're coming in at 88 at the moment. That's on current form, though. So, like, that's showing a 9-point gap based on average play for the entire season. So, a few things need to happen. They need to majorly increase. We need to probably start dropping a bit more. And then, of course, Wycombe need to drop as well. Because at the end of the day, I don't really care if Stockport pass us if we still end up in the playoffs. What difference does it make? Not that much. Okay, Dave, if you added an extra column to show average points per match in the last 8, it would more closely represent our form. Yeah, I could. Maybe I will. But Stockport, look, not to dump on Stockport too much. They are a danger. They are behind us, but at the same time, if we play at the level that we need to take out Wycombe Wanderers, then I don't think we have to worry about Stockport too much. And if we start losing matches at a higher rate than we want, then we're not going to take out Wycombe Wanderers. And then what does it matter about Stockport? Not much, really. I think that's fair. Also, look at form. Stockport are winning consistently. Wycombe aren't. Correct. However, we got our points early, and that is helping protect us. Stockport didn't. So that's also true. John Hills, Wycombe have only won 4 of the last 10 this year. They lost their manager and had huge player turnover. The disruption is hurting them. They're not the same team that they were, yet they're still ahead of us at this time. Is it looking good for chances we will overtake them? I say yes. Could Stockport be fighting us for second by the end of the season? If Wycombe drop, that's also possible. So let's see. And Stockport have, yes, played an extra game ahead of us as well, which doesn't hurt things because it just gives them less matches to gain their points back. And that also is what is deceptive to people. Sometimes when they look at the leaderboard and they see that Stockport is so close behind us, they forget about the games in hand. That's why I like looking at points per match. It might not look like much, the difference between 1.90 and 1.73, but it is significant. Over the remaining matches, which are not a lot, it's significant to pull that back. Okay. If we beat Wycombe, would that adjust the numbers? I'm guessing 92 versus 88 from second and third based on them beating us. Okay. Everything adjusts the numbers. Every match, every week also adjusts the numbers, and we either get closer to overtaking or we don't. So yeah. Like I said, it's not a guarantee that we need the 94 points. It might be lower, but I'm not going to make it look like it's an easier task than potentially it is. Mark B, whatever way you look at it, you have had a successful season. Are you ready for the championship? Honestly, I don't think you are. You may need a significant overhaul players in the summer. Correct. I would generally agree with that. Yes, we have had a successful season. I mentioned not too long ago, the only way we don't have a successful season at this point is if we end up out of the playoffs. Because we have such a cushion at the moment, we could go on a bad slide and still remain in the playoffs by the end of the season. And ultimately, that's the same shot of going up as whether we're kind of third, fourth. And I know there are differences because of home matches, away matches, and that side of it. But once you get a shot at the playoffs, you get a shot at the playoffs. And I would also say as well, is any team truly ready to go up? Yes, maybe the top 2 are sometimes ready to go up, but most teams go up to a new league and they're not technically ready. They have to readjust their team. I've discussed tonight some of the difficulties we might have in adjusting our team in the summer enough, but I would argue sometimes that no team is truly ready to go up and they have to get themselves ready in the summer. Now, we don't want to be playing playoff matches before we know we're going up because that does hurt preparing your team for the next season. It slows down your talks with players because they don't know whether you're up or not. It gives you a couple of weeks behind the ball. Some players that are looking at your team may move on to other people, may get better deals, and they just have to wait. Well, they just won't wait, is the point. So that can hurt you going into the playoffs. It can delay your rebuild for the next season. Okay, it's going to be a nail biter either way from Dave. That week with Wickham, then Stockport looks decisive for Autos though. 2.5 weeks away before the Wickham match. It's coming thick and fast now, people. We're getting 2 matches every week, most weeks coming up now. Now here's an interesting point from John. Oxford scraped their way through the playoffs and are mid-table. No huge budget either. Case in point, why it is very possible to go up into the championship and not come straight back down. I think that's fair. Capital Clarity believes that if we go up, we can survive in the championship too. I do think our style of play is suited. Not necessarily to win the championship and keep going, but I do think it is suited to a relegation battle. Yeah. Michael Hillier with the negative. The failure of promotion this season could set us back 3 years until we get to the championship, and that would kill us. I'm curious why you automatically jump to failing this year could be 3 years. Failing this year could be 5 years. Failing could be 10 years. Failing could be, no, we go back up next year and we dominate and we take first place in the league with a better team. So yes, it's possible. Anything is possible. I'm just curious why you kind of jumped to the idea of 3 years. Okay, championship is our ceiling. We won't make Prem, like mentioned, for years and years, if never. Okay. Thanks, Mike. That's a bit of a downer. Here's me trying to get all positive. Little fight going on in the chat now that I'm reading. Cam Golden Gun at Mike. No, 3 back-to-back promotions hasn't been done. Why would staying another season in L1 set us back? There's no way of knowing. Look, just because we are doing extremely well this season doesn't mean we will do extremely well if we stay in League One next season. That's not a guarantee. However, it is very possible that we upgrade our team a little bit again in the summer, and then we upgrade a bit in January, and we could win the league next season. Also, Luton Town could be coming down from the championship this season. If they get relegated, they will additionally have some parachute payments, I believe in the region of 25 to 30 million, still coming in. And if that is the case, they may just blitz the league next season before going back up, and we could be fighting for second again. And if another couple of teams also have improved, maybe it'll be a dogfight for auto promotion again next season. So there's no guarantee of anything. Absolutely. Okay. I think the new ownership will help us with getting new players when we advance after today. I'm nervous about playing in the playoff. Let's get second. Yes, good, positive idea. Let's get second. John Hills, maintaining momentum is very important to keep global interest growing. If we stagnate, the documentary could stop and the more fair weather fans may lose interest. Absolutely need to keep it going. The general point, yes, I do think you're potentially overstating it though, because let's just say this comes down to the wire or near down to the wire with Wickham. That's drama. It didn't kill off Welcome to Wrexham when we didn't go up in year 1. That wasn't a problem. So I would certainly agree if it was a double season. If we didn't go up this season and then we didn't go up next season as well, potentially then you have a bit of stagnation in the Welcome to Wrexham. But I think like it's maybe jumping a bit too far, saying immediately the documentary is going to stagnate and people are going to leave and all of this negativity is going to happen after one or two seasons. But let's be positive about this a little bit. We do have the Allen family coming on board. We do have Rob and Ryan, in who we trust. So yeah, I think we're good. Now, guys, is anybody else coming in to join me? Because I think we have done enough. We do have a lot of people watching today. So maybe, look, everybody's a little upset about going out at the cup, and I can understand that. But c'est la vie. Look, Peterborough punked us, and we allowed ourselves to get punked. We had it in our hands. We let it slip away. C'est la vie. We have bigger things to worry about. And lots of people said this beforehand. They want to worry about the league. They want to get to the championship. And we have a very good chance at doing it. So thank you, everybody, for coming in, guys, spending the evening with me after this. And look forward to seeing me, I guess, in the not too distant future in a Peterborough jersey, because I'm a man of my word. I said I will do it, so I'll do it. So on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy going to bed or getting up and going to work, having your coffees, whatever you're doing today, wherever in the world you are doing it. Take care, everybody, and I will see you soon.